This damn fly, man. Time flies.
Yeah.
My name's Sean, and I'm based out of beautiful Santa Cruz, California.
Hell yeah.
I always tell myself and tell everybody else that I was definitely born in the wrong era, you know? I've always had an eye for old stuff and just the way things work. Things are made back then to, you know, be used and put back together if they break and whatnot. Oh man, riding. I think I got my first moped when I was probably about 10 years ago. Yeah. First Harley probably 5 or 6 years ago. It was a 1969 XLCH Sportster. Pink and purple flames on the tank, little San Jose build. It's funny, I told myself I'd never be a Harley guy. And I got a Honda 125 and I thought, I'm never gonna get a bike bigger than a 125. And then I got a 350 and then I realized how Harley motors are, it's like the big 4-stroke moped basically, like they're just so simple. And yeah, got that 69 Sportster. It also needed to be rebuilt, so I rebuilt that. Kind of missed that bike, but yeah. Built some really crazy, sketchy choppers out of mopeds. It's so hard not to just go like extreme with them because they're so small and nimble. And so much to where I would make like forks out of like gas pipe, like black pipe from Home Depot, as long as I could. And like it actually has suspension because they kind of flex. And yeah, I had one moped that, I don't know if y'all remember, I raffled it at Ranch Bash. The spokes were broken on the rear wheel, so I welded in wrenches for a mag. I snapped one of the head studs, so I put a wood clamp on it, and I've ridden it hundreds and hundreds of miles, you know, taking it to rallies. That thing is held together by popcorn welds and baling wire. There's like miles of baling wire. And that's probably honestly one of my favorite builds. It's just so sketchy. Yeah, I had a 1930 Model A, and me and my buddy Lane, my only car, and I had to get it out to Tennessee. My parents had moved out there, so I helped them move all their stuff, and I was like, well, how am I gonna get my we out there? I'm gonna fucking drive it, you know? So yeah, we were driving across the country, taking only back roads, you know, and we were going through Texas, and we were going through a green light, probably going about 30 miles an hour, and this truck turned left on a red light, and we smashed right into him. It was game over. It was like the classic cartoon, like, ding, 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 you know. One funny thing is I had a jar, like a mason jar of water, and the cop was like, how much of this have you been drinking, blah, blah, blah. I thought it was moonshine or something. I says, man, it's water. Just kind of imagine like, okay, this 1930s car, a mason jar of clear liquid, it's gotta be liquor, you know? Yeah, I traded a 1986 Evo Sportster for a 1956 Panhead. Yeah, I put it up on, you know, it was a cool bike. It's a chopper, had molded tank, you know, had flames, had a Springer, I hardtailed it, had cool paint, and I put it on Facebook Marketplace for $6,669. And dude hits me up and he says, hey, you know, you're into any trades or anything like that? I said, yeah, not really. I mean, I would trade for like a big twin because I hadn't had a big twin yet. And he said, sent me some pictures. I was like, this has to be a scam. There's no way this is real. And sure enough, you know, I asked him a couple questions. I said, hey, will you send me a picture of the belly numbers, the VIN pad, all that stuff? The cases were like immaculate, super clean. And he did that, so I thought, well, shit, this might be real. And so he wanted me to come up there, look at the bike and make sure I wanted it, and then he would come down with it and grab my chopper. And I thought, you know, let's just make this happen. So I loaded my bike on the back of my truck, drove up there, and I was like, you know what? At the worst, it's a tank of gas or whatever. And I pull around the corner and it's just sitting there in the front yard. You know, tanks were off, the rear fender was off. And I was like, dude, keep cool, you know? And I was like, yeah, this is pretty sick, you know? And all due respect to him, you know, I don't think he's an idiot or whatever, like, I'd fucking appreciate him, you know? Yeah. But yeah, I loaded it up and I was about 3 blocks away and I just started screaming. And the Panhead was cool. It like had like super 90s, like 6-gallon split tanks and a hinged fender, purple flames. But of course I said, oh, I'm gonna keep it like this for a while, and I tore it all apart. I had to get the motor rebuilt after I think 2 or 3 weeks after I got it running, and I rode to Virginia City and back. And by the time I got back, it made a little ticky sound. You know, I thought maybe it was a valve or something, and decided, you know, I want to know what's in this motor, you know, because I didn't build it. I always like to know like the condition of the internals and all that, and pulled I think it was the rear cylinder. It was just like, I was like, damn, how was that not louder, you know? How did I not blow this thing up? And so got the motor rebuilt, and I thought, you know, might as well rebuild the whole bike, you know, so did some fun molding on it. It's got an upstretch and a rake. I've got a 18 over spring on it right now that keeps cracking on me. And I think I might crack on it and just throw in the towel. It looks so cool, you know, it's a 1938 Nuck Springer, but I want like a 8 or 10 over, and just 18's a little too much for me right now. That ride, Sweethearts ride, man, it was just so beautiful, but the whole time I'm like, shit, it takes me so long to go around all those little curves. Yeah, the TinType thing, I used to travel around a lot to old time music festivals because I play old time music, fiddle and banjo. And there was a friend of mine that traveled around all these festivals taking TinTypes. And being in love with old things, I always loved old pictures. And to watch her make those pictures right in front of my eyes, I was like, this is insane, I need to get into this. And so she was kind enough to sit down with me, wrote down a bunch of notes, and that was like 12 years ago or something. Just didn't get into it. Just, you know, having the dark room and buying all the chemicals, it just, you know, didn't really happen. And then Lane here built a dark room because he started getting into the 35 millimeter stuff. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna get into 35 millimeter stuff. And we're like, let's just buy the chemicals and get into TinTypes, you know? So have a little 4x5 camera, Graflex, which turned into, I don't know, like 10 or 12 cameras now. Every time I see another, I'm like, oh, you know, it's not even for TinTypes, you know, like I've got a little, it's smaller than 35 millimeter. It's from like the 1910s, and it makes a TinType like that big, little tiny guy, which would be cool for like a locket or something, but I'm just like, what can I make into a camera, you know? And I built these photo strip cameras that are pretty fun. So it's like the same size as a photo strip. There's 4 lenses. Take one off, expose, take the other one off, expose. Yeah, just trying to see what all I can do with it, you know?
Is it that coffin one?
Yeah, it's a coffin shape. Yeah, patent pending.
Wow.
Yeah, we do pop-ups. You know, we've got a full studio in there that we just renovated, and yeah, we do portraits here. We do on-location shoots. Trying to get into the wedding business now, and yeah, we do pop-ups at like breweries and art galleries and stuff like that. Yeah, it's been really fun. I did the cemetery in Oakland. I'll be doing that again sometime soon. I'll come to San Francisco, you know. Yeah. Yeah, so we have a photo collective called Midnight Oil Collective. You know, we do everything like 120, 35 millimeter, all that stuff. We have a larger, we do printing, but really the TinType thing is like the biggest portion of our interest, you know, so, yeah. Or my personal TinType page is only TinType fans.
Yeah. I remember I looked at that and I was like, did he copy that from OnlyBackRoads? It just came, I don't know.
No, it has nothing to do with it, I swear. There's no nudes on there at all, I swear. This is hard, dude.
It's all good, it's all good.